What's up, Eagles Nation? This is Bry with Eagles Real Talk, the flyest covering the Eagles in the game. And you already know what it is. It's Fly Eagles Fly around here. We are 6-0. I can't remember the last time we went 6-0. I don't even know if we've ever done that in my lifetime. But we're here. We're 6-0. We just beat the Dallas Cowboys 26-17. You know, we started off 20-0, get to the third quarter like we tend to do, and we just let the foot off the gas pedal, man. I don't know what it is with these third quarters. We're going to talk more about it very soon, but it's obvious that these third quarters are a major issue, and we're doing something wrong at halftime. Whether the coaches or saying something, they changing what they're doing at halftime. I don't know what it is, but these third quarters and something going on at halftime. Either it's they get too relaxed in there and they're like, oh, we're up and this and that, and we can just let the foot off the gas pedal. I don't know what it is, but we have to do something about these third quarter droughts, because at this point it's getting pretty ridiculous, especially considering we're probably the best team in the league in the second quarter. How is it not carrying on from a 10 to 15 minute stoppage for halftime? I don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't. But we're going to have to do something very soon about, getting our team ready to go at halftime for them third quarters, because we've been trash in the third quarter. But let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's get to the stats. So Jalen Hurts, we'll start at the quarterback position. He went 15 for 25, a modest 155 yards, but he did have 2 touchdowns with 0 interceptions. So, as far as that goes, he had a pretty good day. But he was a little, I don't know what the word for it is, but the rushing attack at the quarterback position with Jalen wasn't going the way I thought today. He was 9 carries for only 27 yards. So he's been slowing down a little bit in that department as far as running, but we'll see what happens going forward. Today, Sanders carried the load with 18 carries for 71 yards and a TD. He had a long run of 13 yards, was his longest for the day. Gainwell, he ran the ball 5 times for 25 yards, and Scott had 6 carries for 16 yards. I didn't really understand throwing Scott in there, but he had one solid run for 8 yards, so it is what it is. On the other side of the ball, Cooper Rush was 18 for 38, 181 yards, 1 touchdown with 3 interceptions. 2 going to Chauncey Gardner, which, he went down with a hand injury. It looked really bad. He went to the locker room. I don't know what they did, but he came back out and he got another interception. So great day from Chauncey. And also, a big play. Slay also got himself an interception, which I knew that was going to happen tonight. So great job from the secondary and the new guy, CJ. So back to the stats. So we pretty much kept them in check for most of the game as far as running the ball, but Zeke and Pollard did get off in that third quarter on us, and Zeke ended up with 13 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown. Pollard had 11 carries for 44 yards. So they had a total of 134 yards. We outrushed them by only 2 yards. It is what it is. We got the dub, but the rushing wasn't. I expect a little bit better rushing attack going forward. Today just wasn't it as far as running the ball. We could do a little better, in my opinion. On the receiving side, A.J. Brown had himself a pretty good game. I thought once he got that first touchdown early that he was going to go off for 100-plus yards, but he ended up with 67 yards on 5 catches on 8 targets. So he had himself a good game, but like I said, he started off quick. I expected a bigger game. I think that has to start happening. I think we have to start going to A.J. freaking Brown in the third quarter to stop these droughts, because obviously something is going on in these third quarters. I talked about it at the beginning, but we got more people in the chat now viewing. So let's talk about this. What is going on in the third quarter? Is it The fact that we don't have the right speeches going on at halftime from the coaches. We don't have, the philosophy changes because we're up usually. Like, what's going on? Because we're letting the foot off the gas pedal. If you're listening, let me know in the chat. What do you think is going wrong at these, turning from the second quarter, which we ball out, from transitioning from a 10 to 15 minute halftime to going into the third quarter? What is going on? What do you think is the cure for this trash that we're seeing in the third quarter? Because let's be honest, it's trash. We're not doing anything in the third quarter, and we're letting the other team do all whatever they want. And that's on the defensive end too. We're just not playing good in the third quarter, and we got to figure it out. If it's Nick Sirianni's got to start giving a rah-rah speech, if he's got to start getting on people's ass, whether we're up or not, he's got to do something to get this team motivated, because those third quarters, it's like a hangover out there. They just look like they're just slumping around. I don't like the body language in these third quarters, and it makes for, a tougher fourth quarter when we can eventually we can actually chill out if we handle business in the third quarter. Then the fourth quarter, we're up, a little bit more than usual, and then we can let our foot off the gas pedal a little bit, just run the ball, run the clock out. But as of now, these third quarters have to change. If you're in the chat right now, hit that like button, and if this is your first time checking in with Eagles Real Talk, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. I'm gonna be doing a post game every Sunday or Monday or Thursday, whatever days we play now. We're on, we're gonna eventually play a Saturday game, I think, too, in December. So we're all over the map, but we definitely have a bye this next week. I'm going to break down some tape. We're going to be doing a lot of different things this week to keep the bye week going. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Let's get back to the stats. Let's get back to the game. So Dallas Goedert, he had a modest game, 2 catches for only 22 yards. We need to get Goedert more involved. Like I said, in those third quarters, that's when we need to hit Goedert with a couple screens. That's when we need to get our playmakers the ball. And it seems like we're not focusing on our playmakers in that third quarter. We're just looking to take care of the ball, which is good. I like the fact that we're not turning over the ball, but we can't be too conservative in the third quarter, because the tape is showing that we're going to do that, and that's when the other team is getting themselves all ramped up and all amped up for the third quarter, because they know we're going to let our foot off the gas pedal. So we have to start attacking them a different way in the third quarter. Quez Watkins, only one catch. We got to get him the ball more. We got to do something in the offense to get him the ball more, maybe on some screens, utilize his speed. I think he's an asset that's not totally being used right now. On the other side of the ball, Ferguson, a guy I've never even heard of, a tight end, he had 1 touchdown, and he had 4 receptions for 40 yards. Lamb had 5 catches for 68 yards. We pretty much did our thing as far as the secondary and the safeties. Obviously, Chauncey Gardner had himself a game, 2 picks. He's all over the field. It looks like, he kind of reminds me of Jenkins just a little bit. Let me know in the chat, but could we have a young Jenkins in the making? It's early, but I'm just saying he'd be all over the field, and I like that. I like that in my safety. The team is definitely capitalizing when the other team is making mistakes. I think we lead the league in turnovers, I believe, but we definitely Stanley Krapinski, why not go to Dallas? 2 catches. I agree. The third quarter, that should be Dallas Goedert's, time to shine. That's you obviously know he's always got a mismatch out there. And if he doesn't have a mismatch, we can create mismatches by giving him some bubble screens, by, doing some trickery with Dallas, because we can kind of put him all over the field. He's such a threat. He's so big. He's powerful out there. We got to find a way to get him more involved. Back to the defense, man. I thought the defense played great. What about wide receiver Smith? I think Smith had himself a solid game. Let's go over Smith's numbers. 5 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown. Most of that came in the first. We got to get these guys more involved in the third. Some of these guys, so A.J. Brown had 67 yards. He could have had 100 if we go to him, if we target him more in the third quarter. Smith, 44 yards. He could have had more catches and more yards if we go to him. This third quarter hangover thing it's gotta be fixed during the bye week. I think the bye week came at a perfect time this year. We had a really big high. We came off a big win against the Cowboys. We're 6-0 now's the time to sit back, rest our bodies, get everybody that's a little banged up right now, get some rest, get healthy. And this is where the coaches, they got to get in the lab and they have to figure this out. They have to figure out the third quarter, because one of these teams may catch us slipping big in that third quarter, and they may, rally and, get a win against us. So we have to be prepared. But I want to say this. I don't want to give myself too much kudos, but I said we were going to go 15-2. We may go 17-0. At this point, if you're looking at the schedule, we don't have a lot of people were saying, oh, the Packers are going to give us so much trouble game 12, I believe. Nah, we're about to shit on the Packers. I promise you that. We will be shitting on the Packers this year, and I cannot wait. The Saints, they look like shit as well. So some of these teams that they were saying were going to give us a lot of issues early on in the season, I don't see that happening. I see us running through this league. I think honestly, our toughest remaining games may be against the Giants. They're, obviously a division foe. They're playing pretty solid, even though I don't think they have much on offense besides Barkley. They're still playing solid. You got to call a spade a spade. Now, at this point of the season, they're playing solid, but to echo Lawrence and his big mouth during the week, they haven't played us. You know what I mean? They haven't played us yet. The Giants haven't played us. We're making a lot of teams look bad. So I can't wait for more division games. I think we have the Commanders one more time. We'll see what Carson Wentz's hand injury is going to look like. He's a little banged up right now. He may miss that game. I believe he has a fracture. He's going to LA to see a specialist, this and that. So we'll see if Carson returns, to the nest, where we birthed him, or where he was a baby bird at one point. And we'll see if he comes back. But besides that, I'm loving our schedule. I'm loving my 15-2 prediction. A lot of people said I was crazy. They said I was, but maybe I was right too. Maybe sometimes you can be crazy and right at the same time. So if you're new to the channel, if you're new to ERT Eagles Real Talk, hit that subscribe button. I just wanted to tap in with you guys. We are now 6-0. It feels great, but we still got a long way to go. 11 more games, a lot more left in the tank. I think this team is gonna come back. I think we have the Steelers next game, and then the Texans. We're about to, we're about to run this league. We're about to definitely win the next, 4 games, and then we'll see what happens. But I had us going 10-0. I think I had our first loss against the Colts, but that was the preseason when I picked us to go 15-2. Now I think that's definitely a win. So I think the only game I see us losing is the last game of the season, possibly because we may rest everybody. But I think if we're 16-0, I think Nick Sirianni, I think he's got a lot of pride, and I think he's going to want to finish the season 17-0. So pump your brakes. I'm saying that to myself. I need to pump the brakes, because obviously I'm getting ahead of myself. But I picked us to do these type of things at the beginning of this. So this isn't a surprise to me. You've probably seen other Eagles channels where they're like, oh, we're going to go 11 wins. We're going to have 10 wins. Oh, no, we're going to have 9 wins. Well, ERT, not over here, bruh. I predicted this. I seen this coming. I had the foresight to see this. You know what I mean? And this is not just, something that I just guessed. No, I looked at our schedule. I took a hard look at the schedule. I looked at everybody's roster in comparison to ours. And I told y'all, GM of the year, Howie Roseman. Give Roseman his roses if you haven't already, because he's been killing it for us. He's been making all the right moves, making all the right chess moves. The second half doesn't surprise me. They need to play better. Knuckles Media and friends, I agree with you. Cue the Meek Mill. Let's party. Let's do it, baby. I think, cheers to that. We had Meek Mill, hyping up the crowd, hyping up the team before. We're 6-0. We're leading the division. We leading the NFC. We leading the whole NFL. I will cheers to that and drink to that. It's fly, Eagles fly. This is It feels like, the season's halfway gone to me, but we still have so many more games that we're not even halfway there yet. So let's keep this excitement going. Don't let some fans bring you down and say, oh, well, we only played this team and we only played that team. That's why we're 6-0. No, forget that. We're the best team in the league, period. Dallas frauds exposed tonight. Exactly. I've been saying, fraud alert, fraud alert. They've been frauds all year. And you know what? When they get Dak, you beat me to it, Nikki. You beat me to it. Dak would have been worse. I agree with you. I really do. That was my sentiments before the game too. Dak isn't going to do you any better. It's funny that now I'm seeing Dak excuse. Exactly. Yeah, now they're going to say, oh, Dak wasn't there. But look how he looked the first game of the season. You think they were going to expose him to that D-line, the Eagles D-line in our secondary, his first game back after a freaking messed up hand? There's no way. We would have, man, it would have been a blow. It would have been a serious blowout if they would have trotted Dak's slow ass out there for real. Like, I think we would have beat them worse. I agree with you guys in the chat because Dak honestly doesn't scare me at all. Yes, he has played well against us in the past. I won't deny that. I won't lie. But you see a drop off. You see something not quite there with him, especially his, with Lamb. I don't think they have good chemistry, to be honest with you. I know it was only one game, and I'm just looking back at last year. I just don't think they have the greatest chemistry. I think Lamb also isn't as good without Cooper being Batman. Lamb is a Robin. Let me know in the chat. Do you think Lamb is a Robin or a Batman? I tell you what. He ain't swole Batman. He ain't skinny Batman. He may be a little bit fast Batman, but he ain't them other two. I promise you that. If anything, I think he's a Robin. I think he's a true number 2 in this league. I don't think he's a number 1. He definitely doesn't have, he definitely can't do nothing against big play. Slay had him on pretty much lockdown tonight. So I really love what our secondary's been doing. I don't think our secondary gets enough pub, because I think they've been playing great. Did we even say his name during this game? Exactly. You know what I mean? So I think our secondary is the best in the league. I think our offensive line is the best in the league. I think our defensive line is one of the best, if not, up there near the best, top 3, top 5. So our offense is obviously playing great. It's up in the third quarter. CJ is a warrior coming back. Exactly. His hand looked like it was giving him some issues for sure. He's definitely probably icing it as we speak, but he showed that he's willing to, put it all on the line for the birds. He's a new Eagle, and I really was impressed by him coming back, and not only coming back but producing. But also Jordan Davis needs more snaps. Facts. I don't understand why Jordan Davis isn't getting the run that he should be getting. I really, the philosophy there, it's I don't understand it. Like, why is he not playing? Like, why is he not in the game more often? I mean, he's the 13th pick in the draft. Like, you would think he was playing at least, 60% of the snaps maybe. But it's like, I don't know. There's a disconnect there. I feel you on that. Jordan Davis definitely has to get more snaps, and maybe that's where we need to put him in more in the third quarter. He's a young guy, even though he's big. He's young. We need to play this man in the third. Nikki Cunningham says not a number 1. I don't think Lamb is either. He's a Robin. He's not a Batman. Okay, there's a big difference between the two. He don't deserve that number 88 Cowboys jersey either. Yep, it's facts. He's not a true 88. He's not as good as Dez, and he sure ain't no Irvin. You know what I mean? They should have let him be another number because he's not living up to that, and that's a fact. But it's almost been 20 minutes. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. If you're one of the people listening right now to this live, make sure to go and hit that subscribe button real quick and hit that like button. It helps me get seen by more Eagles fans and even some weak Cowboys fans too that want to tap in. Thank you for joining me for Eagles Real Talk post-game live. We are 6-0. We're 6-0. It feels good. It feels great. You guys keep rocking with me. I'll see you next time. This is Bri with Eagles Real Talk. Keep it real always. Peace.